Hey, what's going on, man? Let's give people some time to get in. Make sure you hit the like button upon coming in, so that way we can get this conversation started. Because I really hate these back and forth. Because it's better just to do a live stream on it. Because the problem isn't really the black manosphere. It just isn't. I know how people want to make it look like, oh, if we would have did this and we would have did that. That's not necessarily the case. What's going on, Stephen Bishop? What's going on, Joseph Majors? What's going on, Q Smith? What's going on, Eric Bird? All right. What's going on, XT? Cedric Webb. All right. Let's get started. It's been a while since I've been live streaming because, my Super Bowl is the transportation industry. That is the industry that I'm in. So roughly from Labor Day all the way until maybe February 1st, I got to work like a motherfucker. Like that's where the majority of the money that I make is between those times. What's going on, Ronan? Son? That's where most of the actual majority of contract negotiations take place. That's where a lot of money changes hands. So that's like the busy area of the year for me. Is that time of the year, right? Well, people may have think, oh, since the election, he disappeared. Like, no, if you look back at the other years that I've been online, which has to be a lot, the same thing. But let's get down to it, because a lot of people want to blame the black manosphere for things that the black manosphere is not responsible for. You know, how the black manosphere become a place for blackmail crash outs, how the black manosphere become a place for blidiots and blignorants. That's not true. Like, all these people originated in black culture itself. Okay? Black culture is a blidiot factory. Period. Most of these people spend the majority of their time recovering from the circumstances that they got themselves in. All these dudes know that the women that they complain about ain't shit. They know that, but they complain about them anyway. And they act as if complaining about the inventory of women that's there is going to give them new access to inventory of women that ain't there. You have to understand, if you overload a woman with too much bitch nigga attention, you'll destroy any woman. You'll destroy any group of women. Any group of women that you show this much unreciprocated fucking attention to, you will destroy any group of women. Any group of women would be destroyed. That's why most cultures are very conscious of what their women are doing. Because women are the one who carry the actual culture to the next generation. Yeah, what's going on, Garfield Lawson? And that's another good example too. Like, like within 2 weeks, you had like immigrants telling people what's going on, KDG, telling people what's up. You had Fat Joe with the actual FBA ADOS conversation. And then you had Vivek Ramaswamy and actual Elon Musk talking about the actual lack of actual culture that lead to productive outcomes in people. What's going on, Mon Perry? And both of those are true. And you have to realize most of black culture is about re-perpetuating black problems. This is not a black manosphere issue. It's a black cultural issue. So when Vivek Ramaswamy, even though he's on the wrong side, he has the right arguments, but on the wrong sides, and definitely working with the wrong people. Says web, thank for the $4 super stick. So Vivek Ramaswamy has to realize you're in the party of black of white nationalists. The fact that you have the opportunity to be a millionaire in this country, Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't understand that those white nationalists over there they see that as a failure of their system that allowed you to make money in their system. Because their system is supposed to protect them and them only. They know full well all these DEI and minority programs that they're trying to get rid of. There ain't that many people that's going through that shit like that. Especially when you compare that to how many people who get in with legacy admissions at these colleges. Now, legacy admissions is the real affirmative action. It's the white affirmative action. Okay? You don't see anybody trying to get rid of legacy admissions at none of these colleges because their idea of a meritocracy means your ass don't get no opportunity. They automatically win, they're ahead of you, and you don't get to actually compete. And it's almost like he didn't get it when he was talking to Ann Coulter, and Ann Coulter said that, look, you're not Team WASP. You're not white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. Who the fuck are you? You're just a guy who has money because you can't buy your way into WASP like that. Even though the black conservatives have been trying for years, you can't buy your way past the skin color thing. And you can't buy your way past white culture like that either. So you let an African American, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy, whichever country he came from, probably India, y'all in the wrong party trying to run that type of shit with those people. And Elon Musk is taking blue check marks away from those same conservatives that he allowed to be racist as fuck on his platform. So it went to show you that he didn't care about free speech. He cared about your ability to roll with inhibitions to allow this man to be president. And the moment you pissed off that guy, he was going to take your shit away from you, like all people with money do. Unbelievable. But let's get back to this Blidiot factory and the Blignorants that is actually this Black American piece. As you know, I haven't been doing content, but I have been writing down certain type of notes. Because it's going to be a long 4 years of me repeatedly bombing on PhDs, me repeatedly bombing on fake pro-blacks, me repeatedly bombing on these ADOS, FBA people. You're going to see that a lot. And you're also going to see, because what this guy doesn't understand, that this shit is at least from the 60s till now, that is 60 years. So rather than answering this question about this type of stuff, that he think the Black Manosphere is supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that, it's supposed to be the other. I'm like, dude, people in Black culture decided not to fix our own issues. Black culture decided that on its own. Black culture decided that entertainers and PhDs in non-science based curriculum was going to speak for us. That we wasn't going to invest in a productivity piece. We was just going to try to entertain and sports figure our way through shit. And yes, they're just going to keep finding more and more people to keep hiding behind. You have to realize it isn't the people that's here. It's the cowards who they hide behind. Yep, self-taught chemist. You see, the people who they hide behind, the relationship conversation that they hide behind, those are excuses for failing. Here's the thing. Pro-blacks do not care about black progress. Actually, they're here to make sure progress don't happen. That is a pro-black's job. A pro-black's job is to ensure, is to worm its way into any type of program, any type of anything that works, and make sure that he invite a whole bunch of dumbass idiots in there. So that way, after a while, it don't work. Because the moment you start solving your own individual problems, pro-blacks are going to be the one, what about these bitches that had all these dumb nigga kids? What about these people? What about these animals who don't know how to act? They're being left behind. Don't you care? Yes, that guy is bringing the homing beacon to bring all those people into your group so that way your shit don't work. That's their job. And yes, it is some stolen valor shit. The first press of the actual pro-blacks, they actually did participate in the process. Got set up, killed by the FBI and a lot of government officials. That's on the record. And guess who did most of that shit? Pro-blacks in-house. It actually did happen. So you have to understand that what you're trying to make, or this guy's trying to make, an actual black manosphere problem, it is a black cultural issue. And it's just not limited to black culture. It's an American problem. If a person can be a so-called influencer and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and yet we don't invest any type of money in the person of academic fervor, that's a problem. Say it again, they sure did. These reptiles did set up Fred Hampton. Yes, they did. And I'm telling you right now, as a former member of law enforcement, there is no way that you're selling drugs that long if you ain't snitching on somebody. Pimps are the biggest snitches in America. Yes, they are. The biggest snitches, the biggest confidential informants, the biggest. And longtime drug dealers are neck and neck with pimps. Since these are the personnel that people want to be like in society, those are the two biggest snitches in society. You know, the people who eat off of broken women and send those young boys in to go do dirt for them. And then those young boys get a whole bunch of years in prison while they stay their ass out. Yeah, yeah, that's true. This is why we protect and coddle the actual criminal element within black society, because we're not truly interested in progress. They sure did. That wasn't the only place. You think that Brooks Brothers riot in 2000 was the only time they did that? Nope. Dude, they always have paid agitators everywhere. They always do that shit. Please don't say that's true. But you have to realize, man, like all of these PhDs, they're here to make sure there's no progress. That's what it is. I know we want to blame the black manosphere for that. Like the black manosphere just as a concept, we were just asexual human beings and we just created all of these problems in black America. Like, no, these people were always part of uh, America, period. They were always here. They just didn't have a place to actually go. That's why most of the black online content is centered around relationships. Why? Because nobody's happy with what they got. And nobody is happy with how things got created either. You see, you can't have progress unless you have a historical understanding of things that are actually going on here. I set my sights upon understanding the actual process itself and not repeating it, because that is far more important than trying to listen to losers who haven't actually done anything and then trying to pay attention to what they are not doing in the area that they're not in and move forward. So let's say you were born, you're in your 20s. So this is a 40-year older than you problem. So this would probably be your great grandfather issue, right? Once people had the ability to participate in the process, they disengaged from it. Now, before we had the ability to participate, we had the excuse of wanting everything, but we couldn't participate. But the moment we could participate, as the years went on, most of these people created more and more non-viable, more and more politically divested people on purpose, because they wanted to maintain that circumstance. Because that's what black culture is, maintaining the circumstance, as if we're in some type of, post Jim Crow, but not really Civil Rights Act level of situation. Because we kept wanting to reperpetuate the idea that there was not individual answers to these problems. Me, I was born in probably the poorest area in the United States. I was. And then once I left home at 17 years old and went into the military, things changed. Why? I went from those people and went around other people. And here's what those older individuals did not let me do once I went to another environment. They didn't give a fuck that I was 17 years old. They didn't care about that shit at all. They knew that if my 17-year-old ass did something wrong, I was going to get the whole crew smoked. And let me tell you, doing things one or two times and having 59 people wanting to kick your ass, that'll make you not want to mess up things real quick. But then again, every environment that you go to, you're going to find the same people in every environment. You're going to find pro-blacks who don't want progress in every single environment that you go to. If you cannot get past them here, online, where it's free, you're not going to get past them once you leave here and engage in the real world. Yes, Black America is a Blidiot factory. Yes, a purposeful Blidiot factory. Oh yeah, man. Like you can still hit people in the 90s. But you have to realize, like, what you're trying to do is you're trying to stay connected to bad people, but you want the good outcomes. The good outcomes come when you leave all of that bullshit behind. Yes, you could be functionally literate. You could go date the wrong type of person. What's going on, spiritual truth? What's going on? I think that was Soul Provider. Yeah, it was Soul Provider. Like, yeah, you could do that. And as much as you think these people are crash outs, they're not. These are working class people within America. They're black working class people, all complaining about the same dumb shit. So they go from watching Stephen A. Smith to paying attention to the latest relationship show when they're not really in a relationship at all, period. As I explained earlier, there's 4 different types of cope that's going on. Cope is life. You got people coping because now there are levels to this cope shit. There are people who I do have no sympathy for, and then there's people who I do have sympathy for. The younger generation who did not create this environment, but they subsequently have to deal with it. I understand all their complaints, and their complaints are valid. That's probably the only people, even though I really hate listening to it, those are the only people who I would listen to their complaints and be like, yeah, they make decent points. The younger generation. Because the same shit was happening in my generation. Where I seen women who are my age, who are mid 40s, some slightly above and some slightly less, who got a gang of kids, who's wondering why don't nobody want to fuck with them. Because people seen them falling out of the cars of 50-year-olds when we was in high school and middle school. And people haven't forgot that shit. Right? Do I hate these people? No. Do I understand these people? Yes. But it's a socialization system. It's deeply socialized and ingrained in the actual culture. As much as we want to talk that shit about rednecks and all that stupid shit, dude, the same shit was going on in the actual black community. The same shit was going on. The same. The same. But the media wasn't trying to vilify the actual white community like it was the black community for some dumbass reason. Not understanding that whatever's going on one side, if you hide it on the other, it's going to end up destroying both groups in tandem at some point. Let's say that you created within this environment and this messed up situation. You're not told the value of education and actually getting your shit together and actually being sexually disciplined and actually staying away from all these pitfalls. You're actually fed into it by a bunch of loser class older men. I had these loser class older men in my family too, in my community too. We're talking about the dudes who are sitting outside the actual high school and middle school, driving around with cars with no plates on them, trying to stunt on girls and dudes who didn't know any type of thing about value, but it was the biggest thing in the world to them because they could drive somewhere. That happened. Just like I know the most successful people in my class and where they work at, the people that you know the most successful people in your class and where they work at too. It's not different. Those people put the time in to be successful rather than making complaints and offloading the actual understanding of the environment to other people. Why? Fixing this actual environment was somebody else's responsibility. It wasn't your responsibility. Somebody else was going to fix it for you and then hand it off to you. That's the poison that is pushed by these unproductive people within society. And it just ain't black. You got people in the white community who do the same fucking thing. In fact, all pro-blacks, pro-whites, pro-Latinos, they operate on the same premise. They know everything about the good things about their culture that they're not responsible for, and they point fingers outwards at other cultures and try to get people to fight within themselves. If you put them all in the same room, they're going to end up sounding the same. Because everything is about them not putting in the work. They're special because they're white. They're special because they're black. They're special because they're Latino. They're special because of the work that their people put in. All these historical conversations ain't got shit to do with their individual accomplishments within that group. And it's always been that way. It's always been that way. I didn't figure that shit out until I got in the military. We're talking about 17, maybe like 18 years old, like when I was in Germany, when I figured all that shit out, where men actually wanted you around uncultured fucking women so that way they can have an actual hand in guiding you into the wrong type of women. It's no different than the dating coaches right now. In fact, it's probably the same group of people. The same dudes who knew so much about women that they kept losing to them were the main dudes out trying to hang around the younger dudes so that way they could end up screwing all of their women because they couldn't attract any. Dude, that shit is no different than it is today. We're talking about damn near 30 years since I've been out the fucking military and the situation is still the same. What's different today is that you get to see much more of success and failure if you want to look at it. That's what's different today. I mean, the internet was barely a thing in the mid 90s when I went into the actual Air Force. It was barely a thing. Barely had GPS. I mean, you could look up shit on the computer or whatever, but it was nothing to where it was today. People was pretty isolated through information. Now we all connected by it. Back to the cope thing. That cope stuff is crazy and it's dangerous as hell too. I did not come to the internet to have a bunch of dumb nigga friends. The whole point of doing this shit was to get away from dumb niggas. Period. Why on earth would I want to come online and do content just for dumb niggas who don't read, who don't understand, who don't know shit about history, but they got their mouths open complaining about the wrong shit all the time? Why on earth would I want to be around that shit? Again, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And look, I could call a spade a spade. These dudes are sex tourists. And I don't think there's anything wrong with sex tourism because R&B music is all about sex tourism. Domestic sex tourism, but sex tourism nonetheless. What do you think going to a club was about? Sex tourism. Yeah. Why the fuck you think you put on all that cologne and bought that fucking car and live in this area of fucking town and getting all these beepers and pages and the flyest phones and outfits and what the fuck you think that's for? Sexual tourism. The same people who claim they're not paying for pussy. These motherfuckers. That shit too. Trying to attach themselves to white nationalists so that way they can make themselves look anti-black woman. Shit's crazy. Shit is fucking crazy. Rims on cars, tinted windows, anything to signify that I'm ready for child support payments. These are the same dudes who are so fucking broke that they don't want to pay for a bitch, but they put all this shit on their car and on their body to signify to a bitch that they ready to fucking fall to one. Make it make sense, Chief. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Oh no. Oh no. That shit is not over. That shit is not over at all. Elon is going to start snatching more blue check marks from these conservatives, and that shit is going to be a whole infighting war. Trump is going to turn himself into a whole lamed up presidency by hiring all these fucking idiots. What's going on, LaRock? But you have to understand, like, we are 3 or 4 generations into messing up our own shit and pretending like it's somebody else's fault and problem when it does happen. Yes, R&B music started off something great, and guess what happened? The pro blacks and the dudes that didn't know how to act ran their ass right in there and fucked that shit up. Conscious rap came out, then the pro blacks and the hood dudes and they came in and they fucked that up. Why on earth would the black manosphere be any different in those areas if you paid attention to the history of those things? Every time there's a group form that wants to separate and do something new, the street dudes and the dudes who cannot make it without a bunch of problems come in and shut it down from the inside out. And people have this idea that they can hide behind popularity. Whenever you try to talk about things that make some type of sense, they try to throw popularity in there to kind of make sure the conversation don't go anywhere. But it's true. It's true. This shit is about individual effort, and it always was. But see, when you grew up around collective benefit type people, they break your spirits in a heartbeat to make you not believe in individual effort. They do that on purpose because your individual effort shames them to their core. When they see a guy your age simply playing by the rules and making it forward, they want to quickly destroy that. Oh no. Black conservatives organized so that way black people couldn't be in power anywhere. That's what black conservatives actually went out there and actually organized for. They organized for no power anywhere of any kind. That's what they went out there and did. They was quite happy in not being in any positions. No, black conservatives is something that's separate from black MAGA because if you look throughout American history, the greatest threat to black conservatives were white conservatives. And it's always been that way. Just like the greatest threat to Native Americans were Native Americans who joined the fucking army to hunt down other Native Americans. It's no different. You are correct. I tell you right now, the information that I have, giving it to the youth, they take this shit and run with it immediately. They go fix their shit immediately. Now they ain't got no women that they can mess with, and as soon as they do get their shit together, they get nested on by old hoes. But oh yeah, man, the young dudes always put this shit to good use right away. Well, well, there's well, well, I would look at conservatism as like a tiered system. Let's put like the legitimate black conservatives, like the 1% of those people. Let's put them aside. Let's talk about the people who are actually visible within the Republican movement and always have been since like the 80s. They're different than these other people. They don't want any power at all. They want to maintain this system like everyone else. That's why they're so worried about who the women are dating. Because if the women start dating better men, they're at the top of the food chain when it comes to men. So if they get with more decent dudes and them dudes learn what it is and start turning their back on these older, non-productive personnel, then things change. But they don't want things to change. They want to maintain the actual complaint that things can't be done. And there are conservatives who do that on both sides. Because there are black preservatives, like the actual pieces of shit who live in the South who always talk about how they don't want to vote for fucking Democrats, but then they deny the actual history of the conservative movement in the South. That's a black person that you can't trust. That's a black person that you can't deal with. And they're everywhere. They're literally all over the South, though. All over the South. There's two sides. There's liberal and there's conservative. When you talk about you don't want to vote for the Democratic Party, you got to start working with the people over there in the Republican Party, which means January 20th, get your ass over there and start working. And man, look, you don't need money to get involved in things. You just need to learn how things work and work within the system, man. It's just that a lot of people deliberately misunderstand what the political process is about. You don't need a lot of money to actually know what's going on in your actual community, because as much as they want to make this look like this is a community effort, it is nothing but a whole bunch of individual efforts that make the community great or even good itself. Like when I first got to Colorado, it's like even Colorado didn't have its shit together. Not in the late 90s, it didn't. No, that 45% of conservatives showed up every single time to make shit worse. But they deliberately misunderstand the history though. And it's on purpose. It's on purpose so that way you can pretend like the parties didn't switch. And that's why you gotta like stay away from people in the South who don't understand the difference. I don't bother even talking to them like that. Like once they try to pretend that the actual parties didn't switch after the Voting Rights Act, fuck that. I ain't got no fucking reason to be talking to nobody that fucking stupid. And it's very different when you pull that shit on somebody who was raised in Mississippi. Like that's shit that I don't get. They know I've been born and raised in fucking Mississippi. They know full well. You know that full well. That's what I'm saying, man. Look, go get that money, man. And look. I've been in the Manosphere now. It'll be a little 12 years in July. 12 years in July. And let me tell you, in that time period, you could have been got a whole bunch of shit together. You could have, seriously. But deliberate political blignorance. So let's get to the blignorance part of it. Like part of the blignorance part is, like it was brought up earlier, using the word liberal and conservative and not understanding the time period or the history behind it. Like this whole political historical misunderstanding is something that's deliberate. It's deliberate. So that way they don't have to be responsible for making any type of progress. Yes, you got people here like I got to go over Tia Son Johnson's book so that way you can see exactly what type of piece of shit this fucking dude is, right? A guy came up with a black network grifting off of black men, came up with a 18-point agenda that he knew he couldn't take to nobody because he was a third party person. And he only told people that he was a third party person the moment the Republicans got in charge. Because he was looking for all this bullshit when Dems were in charge, but he wasn't doing shit when conservatives were in charge. And he came out, oh, I'm third party. That shit happened the moment Trump won. Because after the vote count came in, a lot of people fell back. You want to know why? Mission complete. There ain't going to be no progress. You got to understand that there is no such thing as ahistorical conservatism. There is no such thing as ahistorical conservatism. There is no such thing as escalator conservatism, where you can start your conservative path at Donald Trump, but you ain't got to take in anything that happened in history before Donald Trump showed up. No person would allow you to actually move like that. I think South Carolina per capita probably got as many black people per capita as Mississippi do. And guess who runs that state? Conservatives. Guess who runs Mississippi? Conservatives. Same people, same area, same politics, different party. The same people talking about identity politics, refusing to understand that whiteness is the biggest political group in America. Evangelical Christian is the biggest political group in America. The biggest political group in America. The biggest by far. And you got dudes who's trying to take credit for Donald Trump's victory, but they don't know how to cash in on it. Okay, black women ain't in charge now. Okay, great. You go get your ass out there. You're gonna go out there and organize with them. You don't see Paris Denard. You don't see C.J. Pearson. You don't see Byron Donalds. You don't see any of these. You don't see Officer Tatum. You don't see ABL. You don't see Candace Owens. You don't see these people organizing for shit. You don't see those people organizing for anything. The whole point was to stop progress. And you literally think that deporting everybody who you seem to claim is Mexican out the fucking country is going to make you take advantage of opportunity that's already here? You must be out of your mind. Yeah. Pearly things. Remember when BGS said that pearly things and Nick Fuentes was supposed to be getting things for black boys within 5 years? He actually fucking said that to a black woman. 2 of them. One of these PhDs, he couldn't even tell you who he voted for. So how are you working toward progress when nobody knows how you participated? He did fucking say that. He said it on the breakdown. He said that shit on the breakdown. Yes, he did. He said that shit on the fucking breakdown. Yeah, he did say that. But at the end of the day, BGS knows these people want representation without participation. I wish it was the other way around. But people are hooked on this representation without participation. They want somebody else to guide them to the actual goal line. They don't want to participate. You want to know why? They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to be responsible for all the times that they didn't participate. Let me tell you, the moment that you learn what the fuck is going on, that time you didn't participate don't fucking matter. You can't get that time back anyway. There was a time that I thought I was a fucking conservative. A military industrial complex conservative, but conservative nonetheless. Yeah, that fig leaf fell the fuck off as soon as the fucking 2000 election happened. When everybody who was quote unquote conservative couldn't seem to figure out that Jeb Bush was the governor of fucking Florida, and somehow they threw away all the fucking ballots in one specific area where black people fucking lived at. And the only person who had a problem with that was me. And then people look at me crazy is because why are you worried about it? We won. What? Yeah. That's when I fully invested in learning the fucking history, started getting invested involved with the fucking process, and that was it. I corrected the fucking problem. I was the fucking problem. But hey, when you in that military bubble, when you in that defense bubble, dude, all that shit is motherfucking, I'm telling you, it's made that way. You made to crave war because that's your actual, dude, that's your actual bread and butter. Until you see what your bread and butter does to these real people who go out there and fight them fucking wars. And he doesn't even know that. And first, he doesn't even know that. He called white people stupid. He doesn't even know that he called white people stupid. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, most of these people don't understand, man. Like, dude, they about to start clearing out these universities of these useless fucking black men and all this fucking education that don't mean shit. All these black men who do nothing but keep up with fucking entertainment and sports are about to get cleaned the fuck out of academia. And it's long overdue that these useless motherfuckers get the fuck up out of there. Now, I'm not talking about the PhDs who actually are part of an actual nonprofit organization who are actually who participate in the process. Like I said, it's less than 1% of them, but they're out there, very vocal. You don't see many of these people mix it up with the other pro-blacks who are just merely grifters, like Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, whatever. Tone Talks, Yvette Carnell, that type of shit, right? But I think that's where the fight should be at. The fight should be on the people who is drawing a paycheck off of our collective broken fucking problems and ain't trying to fix shit. Yeah, but Ramaswamy think that his money insulates him from the actual position inside that they proclaim him to be on. He go get that Curry wake up call, man. I guess what he was told to his face by Ann Coulter was not enough. He got to get thrown out of this fucking administration in order for him to fucking look at things the way they should be looked at. But you got to stop looking at the Black Manosphere and where it's went and where it's gone. Listen, man, there's too many professionals here in this space here for you not to know the correct route to get to shit. There's too many professionals here in too many career fields. There's too many people here in IT for you to show up to a Manosphere meetup just so that way you can get into IT. There's too many people here in transportation for you to go buy some fucking $1,000 class on how to get into trucking when you could just ask people. There's too many mechanics. There's too many, all that shit here. Dude, there's already an established path on how to get on. But a lot of people want to fit bullshit with the productivity piece. And that's how come you got all these people around here who just fucking sucking the life out of the place. And it's not even sucking the life out of Black Manosphere. It's sucking the life out of individual progress. But they're trying to make it look like it's a singular issue when it's just their issue. Oh no. The thing is that the core principle of people learning what the actual things are and getting past it, that's always going to be something everywhere. But a lot of people want to take a lot of shortcuts. A lot of people want to keep a lot of these dumb motherfuckers around in a high circulation. Right now, it's about the outcomes. You can't claim you've been here for 10 years and you still complaining about bitches. Something wrong with that. Do women got problems? Yes. Do a lot of these uncultured dudes got problems? Hell yes. But at the end of the day, it's always been about the individual outcomes. And just because these people exist, there's no excuse for you not fucking succeeding. There's no reason for it. You don't need the Black Brain Trust to keep going live so that way you could be interested in the political process. Dude, there's enough shit going on in Colorado. Look, man, I don't have time to be paying attention to every other person's state. I live in one state that does a lot of shit. There's no real reason to be going to these other people's states and trying to keep everybody up to speed, man. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. That's why y'all live there. And I don't want to hear about these conservatives or people who are not picking a side who live in these high crime areas. You got to stop listening to Black people who live in these high crime area cities. You got to stop listening to them. Chicago, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Baltimore. Like, dude, why the fuck are you even listening to people who live it, who want to be around bullshit like that? Talking about they middle of the road or third party in a highly liberal fucking area. This shit is too easy to fix. You just got to fix you and avoid the rest of the bullshit. That's all you got to do. It's not hard. They really think that, oh, MOT, if you just put a lot of graphics and a lot of this other stuff, with your stuff, then more people will listen. I don't need no fucking listeners. I don't need no fucking followers. I need people with better fucking outcomes. But most of these people came here for 50-50 in-house. I got to be honest with you. Most of these people came here for 50-50 in-house. And they learn the sacred art of shutting the fuck up and pick a woman and stop fucking complaining. Accept your fucking notch on the fucking total pole and shut the fuck up. Because everybody else is going through the same shit too. Not hard, extremely easy. Not hard. Again, most of these fixed income thousandaires who trying to attach themselves to the Trump administration, okay, just wait till the economy start falling. Just wait till them job numbers start not really being where they need to be quarter after quarter. Not really. Shit, not for me. But you have to understand that. Imagine if you're a 65-year-old guy who's been 65 for the last 65 years. Imagine the only thing you got in life is to bring a bunch of PhD grifters here so that way there wouldn't be any progress. And that's your claim to fame. Your claim to fame is you destroyed a progressive space and you invited a whole bunch of dumb niggas here so that way there wouldn't be progress. I'm sorry, man. I didn't come here to babysit useless nigga children. Nah, I ain't with that shit. No, sir. You get the fuck on with that shit. Nope. Oh, what's going on, Wacky World? Oh, yeah. And only the complaints happen when liberals are in office. Like when conservatives are in office, like everybody powered down. Like there are no more complaints. There are no more complaints about anything. Once conservatives get in charge, nobody's worried about black boys or none of that shit. All that shit was a grift. All of it was a grift, dude. You got dudes with no kids worried about black boys. They don't want to take care of nobody's kids, but they want the best for black boys. So you get the best for black boys by hanging around a bunch of shiftless PhD niggas and self-taught chemists on up all night dumb nigga live streams discussing bullshit online. Because you care that much about black boys, right? Yeah. I'm only helping the decent fucking kids, if they get it. They have that Mago DNA bullshit about them, man. Fuck your kids, man. Fuck that. Kids shouldn't even be here. I'm not helping that motherfucker with anything. Fuck that. I mean, but like the corporate news just kept putting out the little flyers about all the things that's about to go up. Didn't nobody cover that shit. They wanted this dude to be president, and he is, and he's going to get away with all those charges except the ones in Georgia. And once he does go to that trial, if it ever happens, there's going to be some type of super right wing governor that's going to replace Kemp, and he's going to pardon Trump. That's what's going to happen. That dude's going to get away with all that shit because that's what they wanted. But you have to understand that they don't complain about the economy when Republicans are in charge. Remember, Republicans have been in charge of the House since 2022. So when the Dems were in charge, before that, everybody cared about the economy and inflation. Passed the Inflation Reduction Act. We did a whole bunch of shit about inflation. And then once inflation started going down, slash when the Republicans got in office, everybody forgot that inflation was an issue. That's what I mean about the deliberate political Blignorance portion of it, where you have to tell people about how the stock market goes up and down when Dems are in office and how it really doesn't do anything, and the economy contracts when conservatives are in office. Less money moves when conservatives are in office. Why? They want to take all the money home. Hey, look, let them have the argument about politics. Let them have the argument about politics. But they live in these liberal areas. Yes, they do. They live in these liberal fucking areas, but they got all the shit to complain about politics about. It don't make sense. You have a whole ignorant ass fucking Canadian in this space was talking about the presidential election. While nobody was talking about what the fuck was going on in Canada, this dumb motherfucker was spending all this time around here, around these politically ignorant motherfuckers on panels. That's what I'm saying. Like a man, look, man. If people knew how much of a big business keeping black people disconnected from the political process and complain about bullshit was, that needs to be a whole discussion by itself. That needs to be a whole discussion by itself. Like, you don't see the real Dana talking that crazy shit no more. You don't hear her talking about exposing Donald Trump. No, but she had a lot to say about Kamala Harris toward the end of the campaign. She went completely fucking radio silence the moment that vote count came back. Judge Joe Brown, you don't see him talking that shit about Donald Trump. No, you don't. Them motherfuckers left because Kamala was supposed to win. So that way they can keep running their fucking grift for the next 4 years, pretending that they're being quote unquote ignored by the powers that be. And if they're ignoring me, then why would you want to vote Democrat? Huh? Dumb motherfuckers, man. Not even black conservatives live in red areas of red state. I don't watch them anymore. Jank been on that bullshit and he been on that fucking grift, trying to fucking cozy up to these fucking conservatives, man. I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it at all. Fuck that. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I got a phone call that came in. What's going on, Mulatto Vanguard? What's going on? Yep, they are attempting to grift off conservatives. They got compromised by the same fucking money that they was trying to get out of politics. They're trying to get some of these bigot bucks. That's what the fuck they're trying to do. And yeah, look at that. I'm telling you, trying to do the right thing isn't going to pay. It just isn't. They are a media company. They don't give a fuck about those people anymore. They don't give a fuck about that. They're going for the fucking bag. Yes, I wasted nearly 20 years listening to them. There's a person who tried to get all them conservatives on their side. It was called Kamala Harris, and it didn't fucking work. Actually, more people voted with Trump, even though she tried to court most of them motherfuckers over there. Just be on the fucking left. You ain't got to put them people over there. You don't look. You didn't see Donald Trump trying to get nobody on the left on this fucking side. You never even seen that shit. Okay? I don't know why the fuck we keep trying to do that shit. Yeah. I highly suggest you watch that interview between Mark Lamont Hill and Cenk Uygur, because Mark Lamont Hill made all the points that people wanted to make, and he just sat there and just looked crazy and tried to yada yada his way through this shit. Oh shit, let me drop the link real quick. See if somebody want to come up. Look, if I don't even know who you are, then don't even bother trying to come up, because yeah, but it's not Cenk Uygur's job to keep you actually posted up with what's happening in politics. That's not their job, man. You got to do that shit within your own area. Those people was not gonna stay there doing that shit forever. That I can assure you. They were never gonna sit there and keep doing that for the good of the love of shit forever. They were never gonna do that. Yeah, what's going on, Black Avenger? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. Must see TV, because this shit is going to fall apart. All of it is going to fall apart. There is going to be a very public civil war. Yes, he did. He sat his ass on stage with Charlie Kirk and told them that they did some shit right. Yeah, he did that shit. You are correct about that, Mulatto Vanguard. They will pay anybody to fucking lie to them. And actually, if you just service the conservative audience, you really ain't got to run into black people like that. Like, conservatives do protect their black people when they go over there and be on that bullshit. They always have protected their people when they go over there. Always protect them. Yeah, Anna went on with what was that? Glenn Beck said how she was quote unquote wrong and what she thought, and there was an actual border crisis. Like, bitch, there ain't no border crisis. You're a whole fucking white woman. How the fuck are you affected by a fucking border crisis? No, I think it's gonna get out of hand, and it's gonna be them on them. And there's a group of people that I hate more than anybody else. It's these fucking special forces grifters who are know that they went to a war for no fucking reason, but somehow hate the Democrats and don't hate Republicans. I can't stand most of these fucking special forces grifters. I can't stand it. I can't fucking stand it. It really makes my stomach turn seeing that people who seen the shit that they saw. Oh, that shit really get on my nerves. hold on a second. Let me address another thing here. But yeah, man, like this actual progress is actual individual. Like, there's no real reason to be dodging the political environment, dodging the political talk, dodging the actual participation in the process. There's no real reason for all of that, unless you like shit the way that it is. Now, I understand that women liking shit the way that it is, but they're not fighting to like be stagnant. Women are still organizing for shit. It's still doing shit. It's the men who are out here on a whole bunch of bullshit. It's never really the women. I mean, because keep it real, nobody take conservative women seriously. Nobody take conservative women seriously. Conservative women are to agree with what white man says. That is white conservative women's fucking talking points. Whatever white man says, they agree with. Okay, so you're never going to hear some deep ass discussion with some conservative woman. No, no, no. Like, they thought that there was going to be a version of white reconstruction by electing Trump. They thought that there was going to be a an actual white version of that, until Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy told them about how fucked up your culture is. This is why you ain't shit, because your culture's fucked up. They thought that by electing Trump, he was gonna kick Latinos out of these fucking jobs and cancel HB1 visas and put unqualified whites in those positions. That's the bullshit that they bought in on for some fucking reason. But once they start to see that the people that they elected are gonna be the main one fucking them over, yeah. And you would think Vivek Ramaswamy would have enough sense not to do some dumb shit like that. You would literally think that a guy would understand. Please don't fucking do nothing that dumb. Please make sure you check that with someone else. Say it again, man. Say it again. Getting rid of all these fucking initiatives. They ain't trying to get rid of that HB1 visa though. Look, corporations know what side their bread is fucking buttered on. They ain't fucking stupid. They will give you that play action pass, fake it to the black man who end up getting that hit and throwing that shit downfield to the fucking actual people who they don't pay money to. Oh man, who the fuck? Hold on a second. Any guy, what's going on, man?
Hamilton, what's happening, bro?
I was chilling out, man. Chilling out, man. Trying to get this live stream in. Yeah, man. Like your boy Vivek, man, telling Whitey that they ain't shit. You got to change your culture, man.
Well, he was, it's kind of like how white folks are sitting there telling us what we had to do. You got to change this, you got to change that, and now they're getting that from this guy who is somebody who they ultimately don't like, and you see how they're chafing against that. They're chafing hard, man. They are angry. They are upset, man. They're like, oh man,
Because it's not supposed to come from another conservative, bro.
and
That type of talk is never supposed to come from a conservative or conservative.
and it's damn sure not to come from no Indian either.
Oh
Indian
God, no.
oh.
Especially a rich one. One who got more money than the motherfuckers who we claim to be trying to help.
Well, he's part of that multi-millionaire billionaire class, and he's talking down on them. And see, ultimately, at the end of the day, these guys voted for that, right? So they voted for that. This is what's
Yes,
coming.
they did. They did vote for it.
Exactly, they voted for it, and they voted for it. They didn't understand really where these moneyed guys are really coming from. They're not looking out for you, Gray Boy, as an entity for them to put forward. They're going to be putting forward other workers and so forth. That and if they're capitalists, the billionaire is looking for his next billion. He's not looking for the next white boy, to put him. I
Bro,
mean, it's crazy. But that's what these guys bought, and now they're gonna deal with it.
how do you fall for that though? I mean, but
Well,
this shit is cultural brainwashing, and people keep trying to fight conservatism like it's a political party. Conservatism is culture. It's a fucking strict culture that people lose their whole livelihoods over if they fucking switch up. It's
that's
not a
exactly
party. It's
that
not a party.
that's exactly right, and that's exactly kind of what they're going for. And see, how Trump really tied into these guys. When Trump came in, told these white boys, "Look, you're being shamed. If you haven't made it, and everybody's supposed to get. If you don't make the American dream, there's something wrong with you. Black people, they have racism against them, and and the immigrants and so forth. They have a tremendous amount of dislike against them because they're foreigners. If you're a white boy and you're not making it, or you're not doing super well in this economy, you are a there's something wrong with
Blame
you."
Ducky.
Yeah. There's something wrong. And Trump said, Trump was like, "Look, listen, man. That's not the truth. It's these guys that are blaming you. They're the ones who are shaming you for not having whatever. It's more or less their fault. And he's kind of got these guys bought into that. So
Empress.
Trump was
Hey,
able to
hey.
connect. But that was but
Look at the super chat on the screen. I think you're fucking right. I was kind of feeling that way too once I heard the statement. She's talking about how
yeah. That's good. That's a good
how
point.
Vivek was getting back after that fucking and culture shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was kind of letting them know because Ann
Oh
Coulter
yeah.
was like, listen, I'm not voting for you because you are an Indian. You're a foreigner. Meanwhile, this guy was born in this country, right? His
Yeah.
parents were out, but he was born in this country like she was, and she's calling him a foreigner.
No,
And at the
she
end of the
gave that
day,
dude that South Carolina like paper bag test, man. She's like,
yeah.
not born.
Mississippi Marcellus test, but 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 that's what they got. That's what hit them. So he's definitely responded. He doesn't look at white folks exactly the same. A lot of these Indians who come here are ones who are, because if you go to India, you got a lot of very poor, torn out the frame folks. But the Indians
Oh
who
yeah.
come here, are the ones who are going to be very industrious. They're gonna get degrees. They're gonna go to school.
Yes, they are.
Just
Yes.
like Nigerians, you see most of them who come here, they come over here, they're gonna have two, three people in the house. They're all gonna have master's degrees or whatever. They're gonna be getting in these different
And
fields.
guess what? As
You
soon
know,
as they get that shit together, they gonna talk slick and crazy to you.
they going you know it, you know it, you know it. You know it, and like you say, you see all these white dudes out here. You have a lot of them out here who are just getting over on white boy DEI for the last 230,
Yeah.
240. We know how that goes, and yeah,
WEI.
and Vivek kind of was calling that out on him. You know what I mean? As much as I look at Vivek as he himself is on his critical grift, and he's and he's anti-black to a large extent. But a lot of these Indians are seeing how anti brown and black that a lot of these white folks are, and that these white guys really voted for this to say, hey, listen, this is not about getting Indians and others up here. It's about putting us on. We want the the advantages. We want the DEI. We want to keep that in place, and that's what they're running into. They're running into that, and Trump is going to have he's going to have somewhat of a revolt on his hands with respect to what's coming down the pike with respect to these billionaires and how they're looking to push business and where they're really coming from. And the MAGA base is not really prepared for this.
Man, man, like what K Diggy saying, man. And Coulter ripped that shit off in front of his face, bro.
Awesome job.
Face.
Awesome. She was like,
to his face.
she was like, man, you ain't getting down. You are an Indian. And it was like, damn. And a lot of Indians sat there and were taken aback by that. They were quiet. They took it to the chin. But they took that quietly. But boy, that let them know where they were. And they still backed a lot of this stuff up. So.
Okay, well, thanks for clearing that up because I didn't even know how that works over there in India. I didn't even know what. Yeah, that cash shit is like a motherfucker over there, man. It is, and thanks for letting us know. I didn't know how that shit even worked.
Oh yeah. That's TSC. That's a great. Yeah. They have a very strong caste system. And you got to think about this. I mean, people talk about the Indians have had a caste system for thousands of years and so forth. All right, you might be able to say that, but when we start to really look at white-based racism that the Indians really push, that really came from the British occupation. You know, and the Brits been going for 75 years. So
they left that shit in place though, man. Like they didn't get rid of that shit once they left.
They're still pushing it hard, and that's and that's their thing. They really uphold white supremacy. It kind of brings them to some level of reality as to how these people really feel. You know, so you may have your light-skinned people there in India, but still, you are, you're still brown, and non-white to these people here, and that's what they're running into.
I'm seeing like a lot of like super fucking dark skinned motherfuckers too. I'm like darker than fucking me. I mean, like I'm talking about like darker than people in the fucking South.
Plenty of Indians are darker than us. Plenty, and they know that. They know it. They know it. They know it. Most of these Indians.
I just can't wait. I just can't wait till these people have to go work with this party, man. All these pro-blacks and shit, man. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be great firing on these dudes every time, man. It's gonna be great.
They expose.
We got the week showing these dudes what's going on, and we got the no-fly zone up. So when they try to fly their ass back over here in time for the election, talking about some tangibles 2028, like what are you talking about, man?
No. They're gonna try to run and hide and come up with another crapola and talk other smack because they've blown themselves up. They've blown themselves up. They can't come in there with this.
They're in a corner, man. Bro, they're in a corner.
Where is the reparations argument gonna come into now?
Gone. Repa what? Repa why? Out of here.
Repa who? It's they're done. They pushed it, so the B1s and the FBAs and all that. What is all that goofiness? What does all that goofiness mean now? What's that going to mean now with these guys? And a lot of people don't vote, get out of here, don't vote, sit on your ass. This is your victory, you say? This is your victory. No, we're not going to vote till you get tangibles. Oh, really? And then you think you're going to come back, and then you're going to think you're going to come back in 2008 running that same crap? What? Really?
I guess the couch niggas are like hideaway bed niggas, man, because they gone.
No, we're going to get it. We're going to get it done in our community. You're going to get it done in your community with whom?
Oh man, okay, so like the Phil from the Advice show, like where are these people at? Where are they?
Phil was walking around talking about, black people are getting treated racially poorly in this area, but you wanted Trump and these guys to get in. So now you think that these guys are going after, they're going to be going after the Civil Rights Act, Phil. They're going after that.
Yeah.
They're looking to gut the Civil Rights Act, bro. These guys are looking to bring back 21st century Jim Crow or apartheid. What do you got to say about that, bro? You didn't think there were going to be consequences to what you to the game you're playing? What do you guys think about that? Go come back to Africa. Go back to Africa. It's gonna be. Is it really gonna be that easy, Phil?
Empress, you are right. He is doing the same shit that Search for Huru's doing, man. Feel Free Advisor is doing the same shit that Search for Huru is doing. Like, oh, come to Africa. I'm like, bro, the African country ain't shit. If you let some grifting ass clown come over there and bring motherfuckers up, nah, man, it need to be stolen. Fucking straight stolen.
No. He ran his grift. He ran his grift to the end. These guys were counting. They were really counting on Kamala to win. So if Kamala did win, then they could sit there for the next 4 years and just grift and run their dog shit all day long. That's over. That didn't happen. Okay, so a lot of what these guys are pushing may have worked, kept a lot of people from going to the polls. Now go work with these guys that are in here. Now
Yeah,
go work
hurry up.
Work with the Bannons and these guys. Work with these. Now come work with these people. Come work with them. Yeah, that's what your job is now. Come work with these people.
Let me go look it up, Black Avenger, because it's been 6 months since I seen that email. But I'm gonna look it up and tell you which country that he wanted to send people to. But if you want to go on some shit like that, go for Search for Huru. He's been doing that shit for about 5 or 6 years now. I would trust him on some shit like that versus like, chilling circuit motherfucking Feel Free Advice show, man.
No. Feel free, but he's obscene. He was an obscenity, literally under the eyes of God. This in this election. Now he's come around and can show his face and with his white wife up in there talking smack.
That's what I'm saying, man. What is going on?
I mean, pure schizophrenia going on, madness. But this is what these people are upholding. You think you're going to get adjacent to white supremacy and play your own internal Southern strategy on yourself? You think that's going to work for you?
Oh no, man.
Make some sense out of this, man. Make some sense out of these Negroes, man.
I don't know, man. Like, all right, so let's say, okay, it's 2027, almost 2028. You got people tangibles 2028. You got, the failed Black Americans, FBA. You got the ADOS, you got to put the starting fluid in the fucking engine. You have to crank the engine back up. It's been a while since it got turned over,
They think they're going to crank. They think how these guys look here, they think they're going to crank that up again. That's going to work. Buddy, you guys are done. You finish.
The whole point is building the wall of showing you that these people is not serious between now and 2027. Like, that's my goal. It's to show you that these PhDs are full of shit. To show you that all these pro-blacks are full of shit. To show you all these people who live in the South, I'll never vote for a Democrat. They're full of shit. It's like this whole ahistorical, they're just full of shit. I'm like, at the end of the day, these graham crackers are more fucking a threat to us than actual whites who don't fuck with us. It's the graham cracker who's fucking doing this.
For sure.
Mr. Golden Grams, the fucking Honey Smacks frog. It's these niggas who's fucking doing this.
For sure. And this may seem off the spot, but where are these Negroes when they talk about Daniel Penny? Talk about black men and black this and black that. And here you got a white dude choking a black man out for 6 minutes, killed him. 6 minutes in a rear naked choke. Killed him. I know the move extremely well. Killed him.
No, yeah.
Killed him. And then now he's being celebrated at the White House, and people are looking at this like, what? And these Negroes are silent. I haven't heard anything from the PhDs on this, the masculinists and all that, understanding psychologically exactly what that really means. But nobody said a word. I don't see them saying.
No, of course not.
And
you can't market this like you can't sell Keisha Basham to the penny shit, man. Like you can't do that. That's hard to do, man. And actually, Empress, Sub-Zero has been doing that for a while. Like he doesn't. What he does is he kind of blends, like you say, he blends it together. Like he doesn't understand the historical context of what he's talking about, and he tries to make it okay. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy is right, but he's with the wrong fucking people saying that. Like if you wanted like some real meritocracy shit, you would try to fix the taxation system that funds the fucking schools. You just don't just blame the culture. That's just the end of it. They don't do that shit in other like European countries. No, they just fund education equally across the board. That's what they do. They don't do the stupid shit that we do over here.
Remember, Vivek knows how the system works. He understands how the system works.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He knows. Dark.
Yeah, Mike, yeah, dark matter. Yeah, dark matter, yeah. Yeah.
But look, now if I was like in my ideal world, I'd get rid of all this shit. I'd get rid of all of it, but I would actually first get rid of legacy admissions in these fucking schools. Cause that's how a lot of these middle class kids are like going to these actual colleges is because they dad went and was an alumni and all that other shit. So they're not even going through the process that everybody else is going through. While meanwhile trying to take away DEI shit that don't even put that many people through.
That's exactly correct. Like I told
It don't even put that many people through, man.
like I told you, MOT, my brother, when we were going to college, when he first was going to college, he wanted to go. He was thinking about going to Yale, but he ended up rejecting it. He didn't want to go, but it went to Boston College. So that's a whole other thing. I don't even want to get into that. But the individual who we had spoken to, a guy by the name of Ed Myers, his family was the owners of Myers Rum. So anybody can look that up, Myers Rum, and see who they are. I mean, and these are old white money, but these guys, he had a dean's, he had what they called a dean's seat. I mean, because he was a graduate of Yale, he was a white Brahmin. Basically, that's what he was, a white Brahmin. And he could put anybody into that dean's seat that he wanted. And if he went to that school and said, hey, I want this person in here because we feel he'll be great for the university, Yale's going to accept them. As long as you have basic grades and have done all the have done all the standardized tests, they're going to accept you. They're going to accept you in. That's how white folks operate. A dean's seat, and this is like standard. A dean's seat. You know how many white folks who are of that class have that type sitting at these universities where they can just put any people in, but yet they're talking about DEI. I mean,
George W. Bush. How you think he got there? Come on, man. Come on.
Exactly. These people are head of giant conglomerates, but yet you have these people who can put anybody in any university that they want, any one or two if they want to, and then you have numbers of these people who are doing this. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yet they're talking about DEI. We got a problem here. But I mean, meritocracy. What are you talking about? It's never been a meritocracy here. Never.
Like, actually, they prevent fairness. Like, do you know where people would be at financially if people had the same access to capital that Donald Trump and Vivek Ramaswamy had?
Well, that's the whole thing behind it. That's what they
Yeah, like, come on, man. What's the bullshit here?
That's what they don't do. And being ahistorical, if we want to get with history, we've seen when black townships and so forth have done exceedingly well, especially during in the 19th century and certainly the turn of the look past that. You can't look past that history. You can't look past that history.
But,
so when you
but it's like, when they gonna think about it? We can't even have a conversation about what's here presently because people are trying to just flood the space with a whole bunch of myths, disinformation, and disinterest while simultaneously calling themselves pro-black while doing so.
And
That's
and,
the
and
shit I don't get.
well, I get it when at the end of the day you truly are not about any level of true progress. You don't want to see things improve. You want to see things stay the same because many of these people are sitting here who are littered with the white paradigm of inferiority anyway. A lot of them really feel that way about themselves and about their people, and they push that. And then that is that's what you feel out of this stuff. These people are not here to push people to get better or to
Of
improve.
course not. Of
They,
course
they,
not.
they want things to stay stagnant so they can get up here and run their mouths and talk their dog shit. That means nothing, will get you nowhere, but yet they just want to be heard. And that's what they're happy with in it, around brothers. Around brothers. And get mad at some of these black women who organize as well. Get mad at them. They ain't organizing. They're sitting
I
around
never
mouth
understood
it
that
off.
hating on black women who can actually get shit for black family shit. Like when when Tia San was like, well, the he was celebrating the actual getting rid of like the black women loans and shit. Like, you stupid motherfucker, don't you realize they go to black families too?
It goes
Especially
to
if you're a
black
middle of the
families.
road guy who ain't fucking part of shit. Why the fuck would you even be cheering some shit like that? Why?
I mean,
It
there was
don't make
some
no don't make no sense, man.
there was some people who were happy to hear black women were denied uh, uh, certain grants to to develop businesses and so forth. They were very happy about that. Don't understand. Well, that's the same for you. You think that if they're going to deny them, they're not going to deny you. This is what these guys are going for. They're going after the Civil Rights Act. When this guy comes in here, he's going after the Civil Rights Act. You
Oh,
know,
no doubt.
you know,
Erica, I
you know.
do agree. Like, and all the fake caring about black boys it's just a smoke screen for some other bullshit.
They
Listen,
don't
if you
care
cared about,
about black boys.
of course not.
They don't give a
Like,
damn about
you
them.
really think that they're trying to create black boys that's fucking better than them?
Do you think so? You see half
They
of
ain't
these
trying to
young
do
black
nothing
boys.
like that.
Think about this. Half of these young black boys who come up here and start questioning some of these guys, what do?
Dude,
They
they
start
get mad
screaming
as
at them.
fuck. Man, they
Tell
get
them that they
mad.
ain't this.
Oh, they get mad as
They
fuck.
get mad. I even heard one a couple of years ago literally say he was going to rape one of them because of
Yeah.
because they questioned him. This is what you're actually dealing with, and you got to sit down here and listen to that.
Okay,
They
so
care about
let's
black boys. I don't even
yeah.
hear about.
Okay,
Do you
so
even
let's
hear
step to
black boy
this.
talk right now? Do you even hear any
Oh
talk about
hell
black
no!
boys?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what Eric is saying. Like you don't fucking hear that shit. So it's like, okay. So the dudes who want to stay up all night complaining about women that they shouldn't fucking be with somehow want to create better fucking black boys that's better than them. What? Nah. Man, if you don't give a shit about black boys like that,
And when you really look at it, and you heard that was talk, they never did. They never did. They
man.
never did.
Listen, that gender war shit is YouTube. Cause I know many black women who have slapped the shit out of one of these fucking dudes talking that crazy shit outside of YouTube into their face. Like, nah. Now this is some YouTube shit where you get the you in the bathroom with the phone type shit. No, you ain't out there listening to this shit on the monitor in front of nobody because you ain't gonna be on some red pill shit and in a fucking relationship. You're not gonna be talking all that crazy shit and in a relationship. You're just not going to do that. I don't care what these people say. You're not red pilling in no fucking relationship, man. Red pill is for dudes who are not in a relationship. It's too scared to fucking engage. That's what it's for. It ain't for nobody else. Yep. I don't even want to talk about the Umar shit in the fucking school. God that dude's been running that shit for like 5 years. Have it been like 5 years ago at least?
It's definitely been that. See, one thing that I do,
Damn.
one thing that I do like about this election, one thing I do like about this political season, the exposure has
Oh
been
man.
legendary, legendary exposure. We now see who's who and what is what. This is very clear, very clear.
Damn, 2013? Or just in 2013? What the fuck? He been running this shit since 2013. Oh man. Nicole, what is happening? 2013. Oh my God. Yeah, but the red pill was a way for you know, perpetual child support dudes to try to dress up their bullshit circumstances like they're some type of success. That's what the red pill was for, man. It wasn't for. I mean, because they didn't get any better outcomes. They had
Well,
all this information and they kept losing with the better information.
no, it got hijacked. The whole red pill
Oh
idea
yeah,
it got thoroughly hijacked, and some of the biggest
yeah.
hijackers was like you were going after the Dayton coaches and a lot of these other fucking jokers coming in here. So it's something that got totally hijacked, and it's more illegitimate than legitimate today. That's for sure, and that's just where that is. I'm not even gonna sit here and even try to get into that whole breakdown. That's where we are with that. But look here going forward, the classic grift that these guys are running. They got to come up with a new grift, and it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Like how like Empress said, like, okay, so like after the election was over with, like Tia Son's first show was still trying to go in on black women as if they was running shit. It's like, nigga, they just lost the election. Well, actually everybody lost the election. You know, it was no black person who literally won because of it. But this dude was still trying to go in on black women. And it's like, okay,
Going in on
black
black.
women ain't in charge. They're not in charge.
Hey, listen,
What the fuck?
going in on black women, but yet here's a black man choked out on a train, choked out, never hurt anyone, choked out in a train, and then hanging out in the skybox with the new incoming president
The
and his
next day.
people,
The
being held
next
up as
day.
being held up as a paragon of virtue, sending that message, and these Negroes are sitting here talking about black females, and they haven't said jack about this.
I am rather
Which is
glad that they're
which
not
is the shape of
procreating with.
things to come. Which is the shape of things to come.
How they still gonna blame black women and they're not even relevant in this fucking administration at all? Or black men neither.
Well,
But
like I said, this is not about development or advancement for the black community or black men in particular. It's not about that. But it's very clear. It's not about that. And black boys and all this, like Erica Williams said, black boys and all that. It's a joke. They're not about any of that. And you're not going to see any of this. You're just going to sit here and just let these guys sit here and try to become white adjacent. They've run their own Southern strategy on their own people. They've bought into it. And that's what these guys were about. An obscenity in the eyes of God, for sure. But this is what we're going to be looking at dealing with.
listen,
And
man.
and listen and just listen to the positions these people are going to take. Just listen to it. This is going to be amazing.
I mean, but I don't see David Duke telling fucking white people to stay the fuck at home, man, and don't vote, bro.
No,
I didn't hear that from David Duke, man.
Remember, David Duke ran for governor of Louisiana and got the majority of the white vote. He understands how this system works. As crazy and as effed up as that guy may be, he understands what's going on. He understands how this works. These Negroes are sitting here saying this kind of stuff. I mean, like I said, a lot of people shouldn't even be out here talking, but they are. So
Man.
so it should make those who are very serious in this space the job that much easier to definitely to look at these people, highlight them, and and continue to blast them. And a lot of times blast them not even mentioning their names, because these
Yeah,
people
I mean, because it's
have
black
already
and
made themselves obsolete. Go ahead. And
yeah, no,
think
but
they
black
won.
inferiority.
And
Oh,
think
oh
they won.
yes, oh yes.
And think they
No,
won.
no, no, no. They
Victory.
think they won because
Victory,
like
you say?
black women are victory. You say. I mean, but they think they won because they slowed down progress. So they're gonna kick all these because apparently everybody who's here illegally or legally is Mexican, no matter what. Whether you went through an actual court related system or not, you're just automatically Mexican. I like how that shit works. So they about to kick all these people out of here and replace them with black MAGA. Who the fuck thinks that? Who thinks that?
What they've done with MAGA so far in this administration.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. So like January 20th, I want to see all these balling ass black idiots, blidiots, who apparently was balling the moment Trump got elected the last time. Right.
Hey BA, you said that you don't even hear them talk about the economy anymore. That
No,
was
of
the
course
scam.
not.
It was never about the economy with these people. When you looked at what they was about, especially on the white side, it was never about the economy with them. That was not their problem. That was not their problem. Their problem was you. That's their problem. That's their problem. And that's what they voted on. You, BA. BA, what are you doing? BA, what are you doing with that master's and PhD degree?
Yeah, man.
How'd
What's
you get
going
that?
on there, man?
You stepped
Yeah,
over
man.
me to get it. And
Yeah,
we're
man.
gonna
That's
see to it that you
DEI.
guys don't get those.
DEI.
DEI, man. You're a DEI PhD, bro.
Your black ass having it. DEI. DN. No discussion. DEI.
DEI. You're the problem. It was never the economy.
What
When they
about
get there,
McNair graduate? You're still a DEI. Still.
when they get in here, they're gonna claim the economy's great. Look at what we've done.
I'm
First thing they're
telling
gonna
you,
claim.
dude, he gonna do tax cuts. He gonna fuck this shit up, and people gonna be like, "Well, look at gas prices. They were so low." All right, man. All right.
Yeah. Well, BA, they are saying that to your face. Okay, every time they
Oh
get
yeah.
on the tube.
I'm telling you, they say that shit a lot, all the time. All the time. This shit's crazy. But there's like more legitimate people that you could talk to and deal with rather than these fucking blidiots, man. These up all night blidiots. Up all night talking about Keisha. You know, no shooting jump shots with nobody around. We drop the link, they don't fucking come up. It's just all type of dumb shit.
Yeah. But that's what it is. You get merit bonuses. Yeah,
Oh,
they mad about.
DEI for sure. Man, what are
Yeah,
you talking about?
no. They really mad about that. Oh, they mad about that. They mad. They're looking to make sure there are very few of you going into these next situations that can get those. They're making sure of that. They're gonna do all they can to make sure. Hey, it's just a game they're playing. You get if you're on the chessboard, you gotta, or if you're on the if you're on the chessboard, you gotta know what piece you are and where you are on the board. You gotta understand that. A lot of these people don't. They think they're on the board. But,
Man, I think those shows are kind of weird, Mackie Samuels, man. Like I don't know how you counsel a woman on that, and then you got dudes talking about they have 900 body counts and shit. Like the same dudes who call the women. Like I don't get it. Like I don't get it. It's fucking crazy. Like I don't want. Man, I think something wrong with those people, man. And it just shows you that this so-called red pill have made few men famous. It made the entire situation worse. Few men famous and the entire situation worse. You can't say that the red pill has done that much for male-female relationships. The only thing it's done is give women uh, infinite time to options and choices, letting her know up front that these dudes are not going anywhere. The conversation is about her even when she's not around. Yeah, the red pill have fucked up a lot of shit, man.
Lo-
but like I
no, no,
said, the people got a hold
it got
of it,
hijacked.
fucked it up.
It got hijacked.
Yeah.
You and people, remember when we started talking about the self-improvement argument? What happened? What happened with the whole idea of self-improvement? What happened with that? Let's just take a look. What happened with that? Then you have red pill dating coaches. Red pill dating coaches. All right,
Bro,
MOT, I'm done.
bro, you got passport bro coaches, man. They're just gonna
you
teach you how to travel, get a passport, and kiss a
you got
woman from
passport
overseas.
dating coaches and charging guys $300-$400 for a consultation. The most obscene thing I've ever seen. But that's what you got going on. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But anyway, it is what it
But
is.
but they flock to the wrong answer. Like, what do you say about a group of dudes? Because all this shit comes down to three things to go. It comes down to critical thinking skills, problem solving, and avoiding obvious things that's gonna not work for you. You got a bunch of men who can't fucking do those three things.
Look at a lot of these guys who are out here doing it. How truly successful are they? What are they really into? What are they really doing? Think about it. Very successful young black men who are out here moving don't fucks with these jokers anyway. You have to really look at that. You have to really look at this, for what it is.
Yeah. So BA. So you're gonna be a conservative guy running a red pill, passport bro, relationship huckster IT conference in liberal cities across the United States, even though you're a conservative. What's going on? What's going on?
It's unreal. It's unreal. It's unreal, but it is what it
this
is.
dude, this dude have all these mommy issues. His mother is fucking white. How the fuck does he have this fucking hatred for black women when his mother was white? What is happening here? What is going on? I don't get it. It's like Amazon AWS is free everywhere, but you're gonna pay to fly to a liberal city, meet the relationship hucksters, and then you're gonna get into IT in that order. What the fuck? What's happening?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But anyway,
Hey, man, so what do you think about where's Sarah Palin? How come Ann Coulter ain't fucking talking to nobody in the administration? You think they ain't down with them?
I don't know. I think they got a whole new set. You got a whole new set of these of that of the right wing, far right wing female problems, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they've aged out of it. They're out. They got their Loomer and all them. They got a whole new crew, and you've got the and you've got your Laura Boberts and all them out there now. So they got a whole new set. They got a whole new set.
You haven't heard from her either. Bober or MTG. You ever heard like no cabinet positions? Nothing. No, nope. What I like, man, is all the pro blacks and everybody didn't forgot their complaining about shit voice. Now that Trump's in there, man, that's crazy how these people can run this fucking show nearly 24 hours a day on the very people that they're not trying to help. That shit is so crazy. Damn, I'd be afraid if I was a pro black and that full of shit, man. God damn.
Nah, man. And what you've seen is there are a bunch of goofies out here running around. They had a bunch of goofy ass shit moving. That's all this was. Goofy as fuck. Goofy as fuck. Where are they now? Where are they now? Where are they now running their game now? Where are they now with their goofiness? When these guys get in here, and they haven't made any how would I say, any bridges, haven't crossed any bridges to go sit down and talk to these people and try to get what they're looking to get, as they were looking to get from the them. So what, go across the aisle now and go work with these people. You'll see what
Oh
everything.
no. Oh no. I mean, January 20th is right around the corner. What, 22, 23 days from now? Yeah, man, you gotta get out there and go get some shit done, man.
Okay.
I can't wait. Week by week. We keeping up with the PhDs. One of them call himself BMI 3000.
There you
Man,
go.
what is happening here? You were a Trump supporter the entire time. You went from Dr. Ron Neal to BMI 3000. Talk about releasing mixtapes and shit as a fucking PhD. Like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Yeah, does he have any relationship to Andre 3000? I don't know.
Nah, of course not.
Oh my gosh.
But this is what we are. It's kind of like when it comes time for action or progress, most black men just turn their fucking tail and run. People start saying, "Oh, I'll never vote for a Democrat." Yeah, that's one side of the aisle. You're definitely not in the middle. There's only another side you could be at. But all these people live in liberal areas. Make it make sense, man.
These
Make it make fucking sense.
these people don't talk common interests, because you don't have to sit here and talk about one specific party or two specific parties. But yet they come here and they, because we don't tell anyone how to vote or anything else like that. But we're your specific interests. But yet these guys coming here, they don't pick any sides once again. And then they go up and then they call themselves conveniently third party. Well, I've been third party for so long, living in California in these places. I mean, it's come on, man.
But only come out as third party after the election's over with.
Yeah.
Not before you come out with this 18-point agenda. Not before you build this Black Onyx Network shit, grift shit. It's just that taking advantage of people who just don't know about the political process.
And the third party, but addressing none of this stuff. But talking about black masculinity.
Here's the other thing that people don't get and they don't understand.
Yeah.
If you're not on the left and you're not on the right, you got to do 10 times more fucking work. I'm just saying, you got to do 10 times more work because you got to organize a party. You got to run candidates. You got to invest like a motherfucker. You got to knock on doors. You got to do a whole bunch of shit. A whole bunch.
Just ground floor organization. These guys, it's too much work. They don't want to do it. And they're not serious about moving anything forward. That's what we're saying here. They're not serious. They were never serious about that. It's a grift. Get on here on one of these platforms, try to make whatever you can, run your grift, and now go away, or come up with the dumbest crap that you can talk about, and that's it. They have nothing. They have nothing to add to. Nothing.
Man, I just, it's just like, man, I would feel so exposed just being out there, man. I don't, man, I would feel weird. Like a lot of these people whole livelihood is based on black people never getting their shit together.
Oh
Never.
yeah, yeah.
Never.
That's what this is all about. Okay, and you see any talk. Where's the talk about the black youth, black boys? Where's that? You have many groups of black men that are working with black youth right now,
Oh
but
yeah,
they're
all
not.
kinds. Oh yeah, all kinds.
But they're not up in here talking this crap. They're not here. They're not here on these panels talking smack with these guys. You know.
And it's like the people who are doing shit for black boys are not talking about shit as if they give a fuck about black boys. They just go out there and do the work.
Yeah.
They just go out there and do the work.
Work, work you, work you say?
Work. You say. Yeah, man. That's it. No, that's that nigga kryptonite, man. That work, that investment in organizing, man. Yeah, man, that's that trifecta, man. That's that kryptonite.
And a lot of this, and always remember, a lot of these people don't know how the system works. They don't know how things work. They get up here talking, but they don't know how things work. But they still want to be heard, run their mouths, but don't know how things work. You have people sitting here talking smack about, oh, the Dems are doing this, you guys are so bad, but yet they live in red states getting torn out the frame.
In blue
Totally,
areas. Always in
totally,
blue areas.
totally Republican areas where their health, you got some people whose health care is going to get cut. And they're going to need that. And they're in red states, their health care is going to get cut down. Some of these guys are young, in their 40s, even before their 50s, on all kind of support systems that they need. They don't have dough, and they're they're utilizing the system right now, and they're talking smack against, let's say, those who've helped to really push that. And these guys are going to come in and cut that back, and then that means their lives are going to be getting cut short, and they're still talking this craziness. I mean, you have to sit
Yeah.
down and really think what's really going on with a lot of these people, and they haven't thought through any of this. And those who are supposed to be helping them have not helped them to see, and they don't understand how these things work. But yet they're in blood red states talking about the dams, and their stuff is getting cut back to the fat meat. It's incredible. It's incredible. Don't understand what's going on.
No, I mean, but they just want to light fire to society because they can't participate in it. And any perceptive type of loss to someone else is a gain for them. And it's like, where on earth do you get this stupid shit from? Where you get it from? That is not how it works.
Man, Stockholm syndrome, bruh. Stockholm syndrome. But
No, but they're not a hostage of anybody. It's like, dude, this shit is just stupid shit.
no, it's their frame of mind. They thought. But listen, we're going to see. They're going to see what time it is as things get very real in these next few years. It's just going to get real, man. So like I said, the exposure has been like they've been exposed. These people.
This shit is like radiation poisoning, man. You're not aware of it until your fucking skin start falling off. Hey, man, look, the people gonna be needing a lot of help, and then there's gonna be nobody there to help them all that much. So, and they're gonna sit there. Shit, probably went out a couple of times, but
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
yeah. Your phone keep going out for a second and then coming back. Not sure what
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. So no Tim Scott, no Brian Donalds in government. So they organized for them not to have a seat anywhere. Who the fuck does that?
Well, I mean, that's what and they're looking embarrassed. They're embarrassed by it, but they're trying to put the best faces they can have on it, and everybody sees exactly what that is. So, I mean, like I said, the exposure has been legendary. I mean, these guys look crazy. MOT, they're looking crazy, but that's where we are right now. That's what, and this is a victory for these folks. This is a victory. They've won.
So who you think gonna get kicked out the administration first, Vivek or Elon?
First, it's hard to say. Both of them are going. Both of them are going at some point in time. But but to see what's going on, I don't know. Trump is already kind of throwing Musk underneath because people call him the president, and when you know, and
Oh God, don't do that. Oh yeah, yeah, he
you
gone,
know,
he gone.
Trump gonna have a problem with that. So you know, so that that's how I look at it. But this is gonna be a shit show of 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 unmitigated proportions.
I think a lot of these positions are not going to get filled. I think that these recess appointments, you're just going to wake up and somebody just going to be in there that you don't like. Who the fuck? Yeah, I don't. I think a lot of these appointments are going to be recess appointments. I think the deputy of whoever, who's always a public servant, or I'm not public servant, civil servant, is going to be running that position, and he just going to wake up to a new supervisor on Monday. That's what that's going to be.
Yeah. 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 I mean, well, it's going to be very similar to the first administration, but other things they're going to have down pretty good.
I mean, but they did confirmation hearings during the first administration, and he kind of had quasi qualified people in those places.
Yeah, the
You
few
know?
that he had around. But what they got going now,
Oh no, rise of the incompetence.
and yes, people. So we know why they're there. We understand why they're there.
Oh yeah, man, to go mess stuff up.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man. So you got anything else we do before we get up out of here?
No, MOT, listen, thanks for inviting me up. I was a little busy before, so I just wanted to hop on late. I just wanted to, because I got to be up early. So anyway, thanks for inviting me up, my friend. Thank you.
All right, no problem, man. All right, man. So here's the thing: the problems that you think are with the black man spirit, there's nothing wrong with the black man spirit still. Okay, if you don't have the individual outcomes that you need to actually participate in society, there is no amount of successful people that join this space that's going to have you do things that are just your responsibility to know. Like me, I don't even bother trying to have these conversations with most of these people around here because they're just not interested in it. It's cool. You're not interested in knowing how shit works. You want to just complain about shit and do the same things over and over again. Got it. Not a big deal. I just don't need to be wasting my time. So I want to thank you guys for coming through on the man tomorrow. I'll probably do a show tomorrow night. Thanks for the donations at your web and inference sports channel. Thank you so much. You guys have a really nice night. Please make sure that you understand the process. If you leave it up for other people to interpret it for you, it's not going to work for you, clearly. Thank you so much. You guys have a really nice night. Peace.